Has unshared the screen so that she can now go to live stream.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, those that may be attending online. I do apologise for the delay in starting this meeting, but it was a very important issue that we needed to resolve in the workshop. So we now need to take it to Council for Council to make a decision. And I would like to acknowledge country. I acknowledge the Ballardong Noongar people, the traditional custodians of the land where we meet today, and the Yuin and Whadjuk people who are traditional custodians of respective lands within the widest shire of Tujay. I pay my respects to the elders, past, present and emerging. Records of attendance, we have all councillors are available except Councillor Hart, Councillor Wrench, Councillor Pearce and Councillor Ruthin are attending online. Staff in attendance is the CEO, Mrs Hazlehurst, Mr Wes Sutton, Mrs Tabitha Bateman and Mrs Maria Rebane and Mrs Kim Hardy. We don't have any visitors in attendance. We have no apologies as Councillor Hart is on leave. So we will move to disclosures of interest. We've not received any disclosures of interest and we'll move to the first item of business.
Councillor Jury, did you want to declare a disclosure of interest? You are a representative of the Shire on that committee and a non-voting member, I understand. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. So it's up to you.
I feel that I should declare a disclosure of, pardon? Impartiality, yes. Being a representative on the committee, I do not have any voting rights on that committee. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jury. Councillor Jury is declared an impartiality interest as she is a councillor representative on the committee with no voting rights. Moving to the...
Sorry, could I just say that I am a member, a financial member of the Tujay Resource Centre. Does that, do I need to declare an interest in that respect?
Possibly.
Sorry.
Madam CEO, please.
Oh, look, I'm just going to say that this is a matter for councillors to determine. if they have an interest to declare. My personal opinion is that if there is doubt, I declare. But again, it is up to the individual councillors to make that decision.
I think
Well, I would declare an impartiality interest in that I'm a member, a financial member of the Resource Centre, but I would vote on what I see as determine the best interests of the result.
so. Councillor Pearce isn't on the committee. She's a member of the Resource.
No, she's only just a member of the Resource Centre. However, that is an impartiality interest or an indirect financial interest. In both cases, she has that option to vote in the best interest, and she's taken it. Thank you. Moving to the item of business, which is 6.1.1, the sustainability of the 2J Community Resource Centre. The officer's recommendations are starting on page 6.
Madam President, if I could just advise that there is a revised officer's recommendation for option 1, which is on the screen and was tabled. It has been tabled.
All right, thank you. Councillors, are there any, looking at the officer's recommendations before us, does anybody wish to move the first recommendation?
Madam President, it's an either or, so either option 1.
1 or the revised officer's recommendation?
No, Madam President, I'm sorry. It's revised officer's recommendation option 1 or officer's recommendation option 2.
Thank you. Falling over myself here with this. Is there a mover?
I will move the revised officer's recommendation option 1.
Thank you, Councillor Pearce. Are there any questions or clarifications? From councillors? I'm going to read out the revised officer's recommendation 1 that Councillor Pearce has moved for those that will not yet have that online on the agenda. And it is that Council 1 agrees that the Shire of 2J will apply to become the legal entity operating the 2J Community Resource Centre, TCRC, and requests the CEO to negotiate the transfer of funding contracts with the relevant bodies. 2, agrees to cover the current outstanding CRC liabilities up to a maximum amount of $47,500, subject to the TCRC agreeing in writing to A, provide a detailed inventory of physical and cash assets to the Shire, and B, transfer funding agreements and all assets to the Shire, and C, voluntarily wind up the TCRC incorporated body. 3, requests the CEO to A, work with the 2J Community Resource Centre staff to implement Council's decision. B, include a budget amendment to address the financial implications of this decision as part of the mid-year budget review process. And C, provide an update to Council at the November 2022 Ordinary Council meeting outlining a proposed business model for the future operation of the 2J Community Resource Centre. Can you please scroll on the screen a little? And that is it. That is the revised officer's recommendation as moved. If there are no further questions, clarifications, are there any objections? If there are no objections, the revised officer's recommendation, option 1, is carried by majority vote of 7-0 under Standing Orders 9.3. I want to thank you all for attending, because that concludes the business for today, and I will declare the meeting closed at 6:58 p.m. Thank you.